Appreciate it. Thank you. Nice segue there. I appreciate that. All right. Well, I guess we're still in the healthcare mode. Well, my name is Aman Quadri. I'm the CEO of AMSYS Blockchain and Cryptocurrency. We're a division of AMSYS Group, and AMSYS Group's been around for 15 plus years developing a wide variety of technology products. Our goal with our technology platforms is what can we do to actually impact people in the positive? And Pradeep actually presented a really cool presentation about healthcare payments, which is a huge pain point in the industry. But we're going to go in a slightly different direction. And that's the beauty of blockchain, is that there are different problems to solve, and then there's different companies working in the healthcare environment that actually can work together to solve those problems in a timely manner. So I'll give you a little history about us as a company, about the things we're working on, about myself, and then kind of where we're headed, so that you kind of have a basic idea. So AMSYS Group was started in 2003 by our chairman and CEO, Ken Parekh, who actually turns out to be my brother-in-law too now. So he started with the company with about $125 in his pocket, and recently we were valued at $100 million as a debt-free company. And our goal always has been, what do we do to impact people? We do a lot of social impact programs, but through social impact, we can also benefit financially as well. And so some of the divisions that we run in AMSYS Group include IT managed services, software, telecom, energy, healthcare. Healthcare is my forte. And then blockchain and cryptocurrency, which is our newest division. All of our groups have leaders or CEOs that are involved in every one of those divisions. And we all work as a conglomerate that tries to figure out how to help each other out to make the best decisions for technology. Now, I myself started, in healthcare in about the late 90s, after I had a small career in the tech space. I sold my tech company before the dot-com bust and decided to make a pivot. And so I went into technology because most of my family was in healthcare, so I thought I'd go into physical therapy, which is what my father did. So I spent years practicing, and then eventually went into consulting. I did my master's and then doctor of physical therapy. And then as I was starting to consult in different healthcare groups, I noticed this huge pain point where nobody could actually trade information at any point in time. So let's make this a little interaction. How many of you have your cell phone? I know a lot of you are looking at your cell phones right now too. So how many of you have your cell phones? Raise your hand. Raise your hand. Everybody has their cell phones with them, right? How many of you can access your bank account right now? If I need to check my bank account, okay, most of you can. How many maybe have access to like a wallet for Ethereum or Bitcoin transfers? It's going to be a little bit less, but yeah, that's right. Now, how many of you can access your electronic health record right now with your cell phone? Raise your hand. That's exactly right. There's kind of, sort of, sometimes.
I don't remember the password. There's a website for it.
Well, I know somebody who's developing a biometric program that can help you out with that. All right. So, but what I'm trying to say is that's your most important data. Why do you not have access to it anytime you want to? And those are the kinds of issues we're trying to solve. And so our goal with AMCHART was to build a transportable, scalable system that you can use on a mobile application or log in from anywhere to provide patients the best access to their medical data so they can hand it over to their doctor to make the best medical decisions. That's the best thing I can do in a nutshell, but then we've added a few layers to that data structure, all right? So our goal with it is to create a secure, HIPAA-compliant hybrid blockchain. Now, those people out there that are developing blockchains that say that there's a public blockchain that's HIPAA-compliant are absolutely false. It doesn't exist, all right? So what people are doing is they're raising funds to develop platforms and say, hey, look, if you give me the funds, I'll develop a HIPAA-compliant blockchain, and then we'll put everything, every patient's record on there. Our goal was the opposite. Let's build out the platform to show everybody it works, and at the same time, we'll build out a public blockchain, which is what we did. And so we have our blockchain working on the testnet, and I'll show you some screenshots from it in a second. The other thing we did was make it patient-centric. Currently, there's two major companies in the United States that, by all accounts, probably have access to 50% of the patient records. But they don't share data. They don't allow for interoperability. They make it difficult for us to transfer data from one patient to another. And that needs to change because, again, it's your healthcare data. The other things we wanted to do was incentivize people on their health and wellness programs. It's been done in the past, but we're going to try to do it a little bit differently through our token system. And of course, improve consolidation of records from multiple providers. There are plenty of people who tell me all the time, when I go to see my primary doctor and he refers me to another person, I have to fill out the same paperwork, and they don't even send that paperwork over to them so that they know what's going on with my medications, my labs, or my diagnostics. That's the issue that we're having out there. So our platform is pretty basic, and I'll go into a little bit more detail, but we use an ERC20 token that gives you access to a hyperledger system. basically what we've done is we've decided that security is going to be the most vital part of our setup. So if you have data that identifies you, has your name or anything that identifies you, it actually goes into a HIPAA-compliant cloud currently. If you have data that's de-identified, doesn't acknowledge you, maybe just your gender, your health issues, things that can't identify you, those will go onto a permission blockchain that we can use for data mining purposes, and I'll explain that here soon too. So we are in 4-phase development. Let me explain to you. The first phase that we're working on is the actual electronic health record itself, all right? Now, if I did only that alone, and our team was able to develop that would be fantastic. But what we decided to do is add 2 more things. What we've added is a mobile application that allows us to take vital sign data. So if you're wearing a Fitbit or an Apple Watch or even other things like a blood pressure monitor, scale, ECG, all that data can actually be ported in directly through your mobile app into our electronic health record. So when your doctor opens it up, he actually sees the latest vital sign data that's out there. Now, I didn't want to stop there because there's a lot of data that everyone has that we can use for other purposes. So our third phase is building out our testing platform for machine learning and AI. So here's what we're going to do. If we also start getting access to your blood work, your diagnostics, your lab work, and start connecting it with your vital sign data and your social, family, medical history, now we create a patient profile. Our goal is to be able to acknowledge certain healthcare issues proactively before they happen. So we can actually send alerts. If you start having high blood pressure, alerts go to your doctor, so he can intervene before you actually have to go to the hospital. If you start having increased weight gain from edema or something like that, again, it can alert your doctor. What we're trying to do is keep people out of the hospital and ERs and urgent cares, keep them at home, and have more concise visits through your doctor to solve some of these healthcare problems. So where do we stand? Well, phase 1 is our MVP. It's actually running on the test net. In a few weeks, everybody will be able to have access to it to be able to put on their patient profile and actually put some of their medical records on there if they wanted to, or just put dummy data to test out our platform itself. The second part is our phase 2, which is our mobile application. That is also about 85% developed, and right now what we're doing is completing the integration of the IoT devices and your Apple Watch and Fitbit, which are already done, and then we're going to combine those with our electronic health record. The third part, the AI engine, is being worked at the Texas Medical Center in Houston, Texas, from our data science team, and they're actually pretty close to figuring out their data modeling. So these are some of the screenshots. We use UPort currently that allows for what we call sovereign identity to make sure who you are, who you say you are. All right, and then it allows you to get into our system where you find out how many tokens you have. You can use those tokens to actually get access to your medical record, and then the medical record will have basic medications, allergies, and we're continuing to layer on those platforms for patients and providers. This is a screenshot of our mobile application. We wanted to make sure that anybody could be able to use it from simple touch screen. So if we're going back to saying, hey, look, if you take your blood pressure and it's high, it can actually alert your doctor, and the doctor can do a video visit with you instead of you having to go to the ER or the hospital. All right? So here's our network. How does it work for patients? All right, plain and simple, the patients don't pay anything. They're incentivized for everything that they do. You start a medical record in our system, you get incentivized with tokens. If you maintain your medical record on a regular basis, you get incentivized with tokens. If, let's say, your doctor puts you on a weight plan and says, okay, I need you to take your scale weight regularly, and I want you to stay on a diet, and I want to see if that scale weight goes down, and you reach those goals, again, you get awarded tokens. If there's certain health issues, like taking your medications regularly, and you stay on that plan, again, you get awarded tokens. And if you allow for usage of your data for data mining and machine learning purposes, or to be sold to, let's say, pharmaceutical companies or research organizations that want that data to help develop drugs, again, you get awarded tokens. The way we generate funds is that doctors, hospitals, research companies, they already pay subscription-based services to other EMR companies. We're going to keep it exactly the same because we all know in healthcare the sales cycle is slow. So we want to make sure that these guys stay on the same way. They're just replacing one EMR with another. We're just allowing patients to have better access to care and data. So my team consists of myself. I've been around, let's say, the EHR consulting and electronic health record builds for about 15 years. Choka, who is our CTO, has built several different EHR platforms. He's built one for the VA. He was involved with another one for doing medical records on like credit card size devices. He's doing that. And then chairman and CEO of AMSYS Group, who's Ken, who's involved in investor relations and marketing. We have a team of probably about 15 developers currently working on this full time. We have offices in Austin, Houston, Dubai, Germany, and India, where we do a lot of our development out of. But Choka is leading the development team here in the United States. Currently, we are in pre-sale mode. It's like everybody else that's doing an ICO right now. We did a friends and family round. We have done a SAFT and a PPM and all those things, but we filed a Reg D so that we can actually do it for accredited investors only in the United States. And our friends and family round through our accredited investors, we've raised $22 million out of our $45 million that we started a couple of months ago. And now currently we're just asking for other people to be involved in our project. Our pre-sale ends on March 15th. And then our goal with it is let me move on to this one because I think I'm running out of time, is that our funds we want to utilize fully for development. As a long-standing company, our goal with it is we don't want to save anything for founders or executives. Our goal is to get the platform out to the people and get it developed. So in the end, all of our stuff goes directly into development. No founder, no executive, no anybody gets a token. It all goes back to the people because the data belongs to you, so we want to make sure that the project is successful. So in this slide, this is all my information. You're more than welcome to call me. That's my personal cell phone number. That's my personal email address. I'll be more than happy to answer any questions that you have about this product. But in the end, I think healthcare is a fantastic use case for blockchain. And that's where we need to be, is finding great use cases for blockchain, whether it's healthcare or anything else, so that we actually make an impact with this instead of worrying about regulations and other ICO issues. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you. Appreciate it, John.